How's everyone doing? This is the real biggest Blu-ray update in history. The real biggest Blu-ray update in history. Big time fail on that again. I need to get some special effects going on, but hopefully you guys don't mind my bad editing skills. I'm not too computer savvy, so bear with me. And let's get on to the update. And I definitely went way overboard this time, more overboard than the last time, so expect a ton of Blu-rays in this update. And definitely let me know if you guys have seen these movies and what you think of them as well. Leave me a comment down below. There's a lot of blind buys in this update, movies that I just picked up because they're inexpensive or I heard good things, and I decided to take a risk and just buy them before I've seen them. I consider it like a rent-to-buy kind of thing. If I like it, I'll keep it. If I don't like it, I can resell it or I can give it away. So it all works out. But let me know if you guys have seen the ones that I haven't seen and if you think I'll like it and what you guys thought of it. And I'm rocking my Madball shirt this time. This is one of my favorite shirts. I love shirts from my childhood, like Garbage Pail Kids and Madballs, kind of gross out things that I loved as a kid. Crazy. I went way overboard, but there you go. Yeah. Get it. Back by popular demand. Blu-ray humping money. Get it. Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't want to drop it this time. Now let's get on to the Blu-ray pickups. First up is The Walking Dead, the AMC series right here. And I heard a lot of people complain about this, that it was overhyped and wasn't that great. I think those people were expecting something different. They were expecting just full-on action, like 28 days later, just complete action. And that's not what it was. It was more of a zombie drama, if you will. It does have a couple good action scenes, but overall it's more about the drama and the effect of the people. And I thought this series was amazing, top-notch. I can't wait for it to come back on. I was disappointed there was only 6 episodes and you have to wait a full year for it to come back on. But I heard there's going to be 12 episodes this time, so that'll be something to look forward to. And a cool slipcover as well. 2 discs in this set, and I still have to check out the comic that this was based off of as well. If you guys have seen the comic, let me know what you guys think of it. And next up is Black Swan. This is the Target exclusive Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy combo pack. Very cool red slipcover. And of course directed by Darren Aronofsky and stars Mila Kunis and of course Natalie Portman, who won an Oscar for Best Actress for this film. And there's all this supposed controversy about the dancer who did the scenes, of the dancing scenes. And she's coming out saying, oh, she did like 80%, and she's saying that, oh, that Natalie Portman's taking the credit for it. I don't see any controversy over this, though. Of course that the ballerina who's studied for her whole life is going to do most of the dancing scenes. That's a given. If she could act, she would be in this herself. Just like in Flashdance, the dancer did most of the moves back then, too. That's how it works. That's how movies work. They have body doubles, stand-ins, all that kind of stuff. No controversy. Just calling it a controversy is silly, in my opinion. It's just more media drama and news trying to stir stuff up. I thought there's a lot of similarities between Black Swan and The Wrestler, especially the ending. And let me know which movie you guys prefer as well, Black Swan or The Wrestler. I honestly thought Natalie Portman's performance was just amazing and one of the best performances of any actress I've ever seen, hands down. Really blew me away. Honestly, I was expecting not to like this movie when I heard all the hype about it, and then I watched it and I was just like, wow. And of course, I think Natalie Portman was just a shoo-in for Best Actress, in my opinion. Of course, there was 2 givens, I think, for the Oscars this year. Christian Bale for Best Supporting Actor, and then Natalie Portman for Best Actress. And deservedly so as well. There was 3 movies that I loved this year. The top 3 for me would be Inception, True Grit, and then Black Swan. Next up is the Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack of Hereafter. Nice slipcover as well. Directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Matt Damon and Jay Moore. Now, before I even saw this movie, I saw it was directed by Clint Eastwood, and I immediately thought, wow, one of the leads must die at the end, because so many Clint Eastwood movies have the lead character dying at the end. A Perfect World, $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino. I think there's a few other ones that I'm just not recalling right now, but there seems to be a theme of Clint Eastwood directed movies that the lead character or one of the leads ends up dying at the end. So I was expecting one of the leads to die. I don't really want to give away the ending for this or too much about this, but I basically got this movie from Matt Damon. I'm a big Matt Damon fan. I think he's a great actor, one of the better actors of this generation. And I prefer Clint Eastwood as an actor rather than a director. Not to say he hasn't directed some good things, but I prefer him as an actor in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer Clint Eastwood as an actor or a director? Hereafter was a little bit of a disappointment. The ending, I understand that it was everything came together and they could find happiness and all that, but I just was expecting a little bit more, in my opinion. It kind of fell flat for me at the ending. But if you guys have seen it, let me know what you guys think of it. And I'm going to try not to go into too much depth about each movie because I'm going to go through them fast so it won't be a super long video. And next up is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Ponyo. And this is from Studio Ghibli and directed by Miyazaki. And this was inspired by the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid story. And again, another cool slipcover right there. This actually really blew me away. I loved it. It was just visually stunning, very creative, very imaginative. I really enjoyed it. I was sucked into it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I thought it was going to be too much of a kid's movie, but you really get into it, sucks you in. And I thought the English dubs were actually really well done. I heard a lot of people complain that one of the Jonas Brothers does one of the voices and Miley Cyrus's sister does one of the voices, and people were complaining about that. But honestly, I thought both of them did a very good job in it. And of course, right off the bat, you recognize Liam Neeson's voice. Matt Damon does a voice in here. Tina Fey does a voice. And Betty White does a voice as well. Cloris Leachman. So many recognizable voices in this as well. So that was very cool. Great animation in this. The only thing I was a little bit like, what's that about? Was Sosuke, the little kid. He has like a bowl cut, like a mushroom kind of cut, and then underneath it, he has looked like gray hair. I was like, what's that about? At first I thought maybe it was supposed to be like the shaved look, but it wasn't the same color as his hair or his skin. So it was like kind of weird. Can't really see it right there. But if you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. Is it just me? Was I the only one that thought that was kind of weird? I don't know. But I love this movie. Highly recommend it. If you're into animated movies like Disney and Pixar and stuff like that, highly recommend this one. And next up is Blu-ray DVD digital combo pack of Grown Ups. And nice little slipcover again right here. And this seems to be a love it or hate it movie. I think overwhelmingly the responses have been hate it. I actually really liked it, but not as a comedy, but more as an adult family movie. And it stars Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Selma Hayek, Kevin James, David Spade, Rob Schneider. Just a great cast, loaded with comedians in here. As far as comedy-wise, it was kind of a disappointment, honestly. It just seems like, you and your friends, you go out and you talk and you BS, and, whatever funny stuff comes up, and that's kind of how I felt about this. It seemed like it wasn't scripted, it seemed like it was just, they were just BSing, but overall I enjoyed it as kind of a grown-up family movie where they talked about, enjoying the simple things in life, going out and enjoying family and getting away on vacations and doing things like that with your family and friends, and that's really what it's all about, and I really enjoyed this movie for that factor. I couldn't give it a full recommendation, but I'd say give it a chance. It will appeal to some people, but not everybody. And next up is Fight Club right here. Nice slipcover again. And Fight Club for me is one of the few exceptions where the movie adaptation outshines the book. I thought the movie was much better than the book. But I do love Chuck Palahniuk. Definitely go check out all his books. Phenomenal author. And this is the 10th anniversary edition as well. Ton of special features, some that are exclusive to this Blu-ray, so that is very cool. David Fincher directed this and of course stars Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, Helena Bonham Carter, Meat Loaf, Jared Leto, fantastic cast. Everything about this was on point. The acting, the score, the cinematography, amazing movie. Everybody knows about this. Don't need to get into it. Phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. One of the highest recommendations I can give. Fight Club. Amazing movie. And next up is 2008's Norwegian film, Let the Right One In. An absolute classic in my opinion. One of my favorite movies of all time now. A cinematic masterpiece. A very unique tale on the vampire genre. Highly recommend this one. The child actors in here were incredible. Their performances were amazing. For me personally, Let the Right One In is a cinematic masterpiece. Love this movie. Especially that end scene. The end scene really made the movie. That angle is just... everything about it was awesome. An amazing movie that I think everybody should check out in my opinion. Easily in my top 5 vampire movies of all time, and it's one of my favorite movies. I would say it's probably it's at least in my top 100, I know that. And next up is Let Me In, the American remake, which I think was completely unnecessary. I decided to check it out, I watched it, I did enjoy it, but not nearly as much as the original Let the Right One In. This one was definitely better. There's only a few scenes different. It was basically a shot-for-shot remake. The child actors that were in this one did a very good job as well, especially Chloe Grace Moretz. Great young actress. She was Hit Girl from Kick-Ass. She's been in a bunch of different stuff. Very good actress. And it also stars Elias Koteas, who's a favorite actor of mine. I love him. He's been around for a long time. He was Duncan in Some Kind of Wonderful, like the bald skinhead kind of looking guy. In the movie Some Kind of Wonderful, he was picking on Eric Stoltz, but then by the end of the movie, his friend ended up taking up for him. And he's been in a ton of movies, a lot of movies where he's a supporting actor or has a small role, and he definitely deserves more credit than he gets. He's a great actor, and I love to see him in more movies. He definitely deserves it. A lot of talent. And he was the police officer in the movie. So it was nice to see him in another role. But again, I felt like this movie was unnecessary. It wasn't needed. The original is still much better. It was a decent remake, shot for shot, based on just a couple few differences here and there. The way it started out was different. For me, like I said, it's an unnecessary remake, but it's still a good movie, and the young actors did a great job in this. For English-speaking people who don't want to sit through subtitles and things like that, go ahead and check it out. But I definitely recommend Let the Right One In. Far superior. Sit through some subtitles. Give some stuff a chance. It's worth it. This is definitely worth it. And next up is the classic Misery, directed by Rob Reiner, based on a Stephen King story. Phenomenal movie. A favorite of mine. Again, of course, it has the snowy setting, so I loved it even more. Kathy Bates as Crazy Annie Wilkes. Phenomenal job. James Caan as the novelist Paul Sheldon. Just a great movie. Gripping, thrilling scenes. Everybody knows this movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend this one. Check it out. And I remember seeing on Family Guy, they did a parody of it, which was hilarious. Stewie played Annie Wilkes, and Brian was Paul Sheldon, the novelist. And just a great, funny parody, in my opinion. And Kathy Bates won an Oscar for her performance as Annie Wilkes, and deservedly so. She was creepy and scary. Definitely deserved the Oscar for Best Actress. Some great thrilling moments in this. Misery, absolutely love it. Had to pick it up. Can't wait to check this one out on Blu-ray. And next up is Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, and also with a slipcover. I love the slipcovers. This is the 2-disc special edition, Blu-ray and digital copy. I think everybody knows this movie, and Christoph Waltz did a phenomenal job. He's the Colonel. Great job in that role. He will always be remembered for that role. And he won an Oscar for that performance as well. Very worthy. Next up is the 2-disc Ultimate Edition of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Also with a slipcover right there. Love the slipcovers. And I'm not a huge Hugh Jackman fan, but he does a pretty decent job as Wolverine. I haven't seen this one yet. I've heard mixed things, but it was decently priced, so I decided to pick it up. Next up is It's Complicated right here with Steve Martin, Alec Baldwin, and Meryl Streep. And it has John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, in it as well. You can see him right there. Romantic comedy, comes with a slipcover as well. And I enjoy the actors in this one. And it looks like it was kind of funny, romantic comedy kind of movie. I decided to give it a blind buy. I haven't seen it yet, hoping it'll be fun. Next up from the Criterion Collection is a film noir from 1957, The Sweet Smell of Success, starring Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis. I saw this a long time ago when I was a kid, and I remember really enjoying it, especially the one scene where Burt Lancaster was just slapping around Tony Curtis. That scene was great. That's the one thing that sticks out in my mind. I haven't seen it in, I don't know, over a decade, so I decided to pick this up for nostalgia purposes when I saw it on Criterion. And phenomenal performances by both Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis. It comes out like this, right here. Little slipcase right there. And there's the art right there. Disc art. Comes with a thick booklet right here. J.J. Hunsaker, played by Burt Lancaster. I love Criterion Collection editions. To me, it's like an old hardcover book. Classics. I love the restoration they put into it, all the extras, the bonus materials, the booklets, everything like that. Love Criterion. But I do question some of their releases. Some of the releases are like, I'm not so sure if that's worthy, but it's all subjective. But there you go, Sweet Smell of Success. Haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really enjoying it when I was younger. So had to pick it up. Next up is Lars von Trier's Antichrist, starring Willem Dafoe. And I've never seen the full thing of this. I've only seen clips. And the clips that I did see were very, very graphic and just crazy and violent. And honestly, I was curious to see the rest of it, so I decided to pick it up. It's pretty crazy, and the visuals look very stunning though, from what I did see. Again, it has a nice little booklet and everything in there as well. And basically it's about a couple who loses their child passes away, and they go to a retreat, and all kinds of crazy things happen. And I can't wait to check it out. From the scenes that I have seen, very graphic and crazy, but also very stylistic. And I've enjoyed what I have seen, honestly. Next up is Crumb. I remember seeing this actually years ago, and I remember actually rewatching it not that long ago on YouTube. It's basically about an artist, Robert Crumb, who does like all kinds of sexually provocative artwork and kind of underground. He has a very unique style to it, very kind of like gross out and sexual and kind of bizarre. Very interesting movie, and once I saw Criterion had a release for it, I had to pick it up. Next up is 1978, Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven, starring Richard Gere. Now, I've never seen this movie. Again, I've seen a couple clips here and there, but I've never seen the full movie, and what I have seen looked amazing, and I've heard great things about it, so I had to finally pick it up. And incredibly thick booklet in this one as well. It's like heavy hold in this case. Can't wait to check out the full movie. Next up is another Criterion Collection release, a film noir from 1955 starring Robert Mitchum and Shelley Winters. A crazy movie. Again, this is one of the first times that I ever saw like that hand tattoos, where this is like love and hate. This is where it came from right here. Robert Mitchum was awesome in this. And it comes in this cool, again, slipcase right there. And this is a 2-disc edition as well. Tons of special features. There's one clip in particular that I really want to see where cast members performed a deleted scene that wasn't in the movie, and they performed it on the Ed Sullivan Show. So I definitely want to check that out. That sounded really cool. A Tale of Murder and Religious Fanaticism. Night of the Hunter. Highly recommend this one. And next up is a very underrated movie in my opinion, that is Mr. Brooks, starring Demi Moore, Dane Cook, and Kevin Costner as a serial killer. Amazing movie. The only thing that I have a gripe about was the ending of this movie. I didn't really care for that whole ending. I understand what they were trying to convey, but I could have done without that personally. I don't really want to give it away, but I highly recommend this movie. Very underrated. Kevin Costner did a very chilling performance in this. Phenomenal job. And I am not a Dane Cook fan at all. I don't think he's funny in the least bit. He always looked real scruffy, like he just fell out of a trash can. His hair is everywhere. He's just one of those people that's a physical observationalist, but he just goes way overboard with it. He just moves around a lot and screams and yells and makes loud noises. That's not common to me. That's not humorous. I don't know. I'm not a fan, but if you're a fan, that's cool. To each their own. But this is probably one of the only movies I liked him in, and there's a good reason for it as well if you watch the movie. I don't want to give anything away. I also liked him in My Best Friend's Girl, which was kind of a romantic comedy movie, and I really enjoyed it, which actually surprised me. And then he was in Waiting as well, but he had a small part in that. But this was a very good movie, and you should check it out. And next up is American Psycho, the uncut version right here. Christian Bale was phenomenal in this movie. This role was made for him. Perfection in this role. Love this one. One of my favorites. It's a great satire as well on the whole yuppie kind of lifestyle, and I just love everything about this movie. I can't say anything bad about this movie. Love this one. Christian Bale's performance was to the T. It was just amazing. It was just crazy and out there. Complete dedication. Don't just stare at it, eat it. Such a classic line. So many classic lines and moments in this movie, and Christian Bale was perfect for this role. I couldn't imagine anybody else playing Patrick Bateman. Highly recommend this one as well. I think American Psycho and Mr. Brooks would make an awesome, crazy, psycho, serial killer double feature right there. And if you haven't seen either one of them, I definitely recommend them. Highly recommend them. Check them out.